Hello there, outliers. Niiamah Shang here, and thank you so much for letting us be a part of your journey here today. Outliers, I was about to make this introduction, and then hit me in like in my heart here because there's someone really special to me that I'm so glad that I get to share with you. Her name is Sarah Carlisle Albritton, and she's been instrumental in the making of the person that you experience on a regular basis. And this like I got a chance to bring on a lot of people that I'm meeting for the first time. I'm really thrilled for you all to get to know Sarah. Sarah, I'm glad that you're here. Thanks so much for saying yes to this invitation.
Absolutely. Where else would I rather be? This is
Yeah.
awesome. Thank you.
Well, I want to make sure, like I know you. I want to make sure that outliers get a chance to get to know you as well. Would you mind letting us know more about you and the game you're currently playing?
Sure, sure. So, the latest title I have branded myself with is an intuitive leadership consultant. And I have spent 35 years in coaching before we called it coaching. It was just leadership development back then. And we call it coaching now. I have been a consultant to very senior leaders and very big companies around the world. And I've always been intuitive. And it's always been what our mutual friend Wendy would call, kind of backdoor. So I'd be on the phone, I'd be in a call or in a session with somebody, and I'd get a hit, and I'd say, well, I think I just read in HBR that this might be a lens to look at, and think about that. And they do. Oh, okay. Well, let me look at that. And it would be just the right thing, and everything would go along hunky dory. But it was never in Harvard Business Review. It was just it just was something that came through. And I never felt inauthentic about that because it always felt like truth, capital T, to me, whether or not research has caught up with it or not. But what I have shifted to over the last 5 or 6 years is no, I just say up front to my clients, I kind of think in pictures, I get information from other places. And part of my work, the game I'm playing with my senior leaders now, is, hone your hunches. Hunches are real. They're the electromagnetic field of the heart is wider and more extensive than the electromagnetic field of the brain. The heart sends more command signals to the brain than the brain sends to the heart. So, especially in business and corporate life, the over focus on spreadsheets and analysis and market analysis and all the things certainly is important, certainly has a place, but it's not the only game in town. And what I'm coaching with my clients about is how do you tap into your hunch? How do you tap into your intuition, to that wisdom that you just know jolly well something is happening? The market is shifting, and maybe the numbers aren't telling you that yet, but you've got 20 years experience. You've got whatever all you've got. Your customers are behaving differently. Your vendors, your supply chain is doing something different. What's happening here? Trust yourself. Don't wait for the numbers to tell you. And by tuning in to your heart wisdom and to collective wisdom, you're ahead of the game. You are beating your competitors to market. And if you're not doing that, you're leaving money on the table. So that's the game I'm playing now, is like up front and up close with not either or, not no, we don't talk spreadsheets here. We absolutely talk spreadsheets here. And also, there's this whole other conversation that is begging to be had globally around what is our wisdom telling us? And how are all the different ways that we as leaders, whether you're a coaching leader, whether you've got outliers in all kinds of fields, I'm sure. How do you know what you know? And are you willing to have the courage to articulate and put a stake in the ground about what you know? And that's what I work with my clients on, is leadership backbone in that regard.
Uh, Sarah, so there's a number of different things here. Just in that, in sharing the game that you're playing, I got a number of different things.
Cool.
So yeah, so throughout this conversation, I'm going to let you know what is
Oh, yeah.
happening
Yeah.
inside. All right.
Yeah. Yeah.
Firstly, how did you describe yourself as a specific type of consultant? What was the language you used?
Intuitive leadership consultant.
Intuitive leadership consultant. So, a few different things. one, um, this is what I'm going to put out to outliers here. Like, like I love how you own, like everything you say can't comes here as someone who has chosen, who knows a game that's the more traditional game. You're like, I've been working with these people in the past. I knew what to say. It's an HBR. Like, I knew what to say to get them to listen. But like it feels like you walked that path and you've been able to do the buttoned up version of it, and yet you still allowed yourself to expand into something else. And what I'm really attuned to right now is the level of ownership that comes along with it, that you have, right? It's not like the language and outliers. Like, go back and listen to just this opening here. Like, there was a masterclass in and of itself, just in terms of like what it looks like for you to like own and come from a place that is grounded in real-time results, as well as having like, I don't know, like less what's the word I'm looking for? Like more intuitive, less tangible
Yeah,
elements
people think
as well.
intuition isn't tangible. Intuition can be pretty bloody tangible.
All right, tell us more here. Get us on the same page first. Help us see what you see, right? And then we'll play from there.
Yeah. Well, it feels ephemeral. It feels woo woo. It feels. I mean, one of my things is we're moving it from woo to wow,
Mm.
right? It's like no. How do you know these things, and what does it mean to speak them into the world before anyone else is doing that? Now, your outliers, me, we know that can feel scary, right? Because what if nobody catches up? What if we're 10 years ahead of our time and we're eating beans and rice for 10 years and then somebody comes and scoops our idea and makes bank, right? I get all that. I get that. I call that brain chemistry fear. Um, Figuring out how how do I want to say this? We have all learned the air quote rules of how to accomplish things, like how to create a movement, how to, write a book, how to do whatever, fill in the blank, go to business school. When you want to be an outlier, you got to do it in an outlier way. And that's been chapping my drawers lately.
Mm.
It's like, oh, well, I've got this course in my head about leading with backbone, and it needs to be a course, right? And I need to write a book, right? And I need to, because that's what people do. Well, it's a course about not doing what other people do. Why the heck am I getting myself wrapped around the axle of doing it the way it's always been done when the whole curriculum is about how not to do that? And so, I mean, literally, this is fresh off the presses in the last, 5 days. It's like, oh, I could make it be my whole career has been one-on-one in teams. What if I did one-on-one leadership with backbone? If it is a bespoke service offering, and this is how I've always done it, and that becomes known, I co-create with my clients what works, what's really potent, what else, and it becomes a co-creative process. Oh, I know how to do that. I've been finding one-on-one clients all day long. I know my whole career. I know how to do that. I know how to work with teams and help them find their collective spine. I've been doing that for years. Let me put different language on it. Let me find it's not how anyone else has ever started a movement like this. That's too small. That's going to go too slow. I don't know. Maybe it will. We'll find out. But it's what I'm hearing and my wisdom will be aligned for me. And as soon as I release how other people have done it, the ease and the flow, now we'll see if I ever make any money on it, but but the ease and the flow of creation and bringing something through my channel and into manifestation just just gets really gorgeous and simple and exciting and juicy.
Yeah, there's as you're saying this, there's just things that are flowing through me here where um the you're hidden on something I think is one of the reasons why I started up this whole platform and channel here, which is like almost it's wrapped up in a lot of different words. I'll think the word courage comes into mind, vulnerability, trust, listening to the intuition, being able to go and like find an insight that like comes to you 5 days ago, right? But then, like, and here's the cool part: you're speaking about it now, right?
Well,
And
I've already got a whole brochure put together. I mean, I've written the whole thing out.
okay, great. So you brought
Uh,
you've been bringing it to life, right? And I think that there's something in that space. Like as you were talking, I was like, this is something that is really at play for me right now. If I'm going to be like being here, where I'm like, how do I express what I'm trying to get done in a way that is tangible and tactical enough, that feels rooted enough in here, such that people don't miss out on the benefits because it just sounds too woo. I'm like, no, you're missing the wow wow. It's a wow wow, not a woo woo. It's a wow wow. You
exactly.
know, like,
Exactly. Yeah.
and so as you're speaking, I'm also like I'm hearing what you're saying. I'm listening to how you're saying it, and I'm listening for like the nuances of this, like how centered. And I think that like I've been thinking about this here, Sarah, for a bit. A lot of people are like, let's get grounded. I'm like, I don't think I'm grounded. I'm a high flyer. Like, so I don't want to be wobbly. I would like to be centered, but I don't know if I need to be grounded, you know?
Hmm.
And things in the way in which you like present and speak about this, where I'm like, oh, you're very centered in what you are bringing to life. And this can take off at any moment. And no matter which way it comes, your center of gravity is like spot on. What's coming to you as I say that?
Well, so the last bit, absolutely yes. I mean, I feel like my center has wheels and it can go wherever it needs to go. And that used to hang me up. I used to think, oh, when one is centered, one always has the same core values for their entire existence. And if you haven't found yours yet, then you're just a flighty blah blah blah. Fill in the unattractive crap that I used to say to myself, right? When I realized, no, one of my core values is curiosity. One of my core values is compassion, right? One of my core values is courage. And that means that my center of gravity is on wheels, baby. It goes where the energy goes. And I carry those things with me, but it may float over here to planting a new garden. And we were talking before the recording started about smudge sticks, and I've got rosemary and sage and cedar and all kinds of rose petals that I'm going to be putting in these smudge sticks. And it comes over here to talking about, global supply chain and other things with key clients and what's happening in the world, and how do you get out above and beyond the the static wisdom of how you beat China in a trade war. Like, well, okay, we can have that conversation too. And my center takes you wherever we need to go. The other thing I would say about this grounded thing, that's an interesting, I like your distinction about grounded and centered. So I'm playing with it with you. I don't have a pat answer for this. But the vision that comes to mind, at least when I'm in flow, now it can be different for you, is that I have a direct cord from sort of universal wisdom arcing through me all the way down to the center of the earth. And I'll play with it in real time. You know, I, I can tether up high on that and be flying, or I can be right down in the mud and doing whatever needs to be done. So what would you call that? Like connected, aligned? Is that centered? I don't know what you'd call that.
Yeah, no, that's really beautiful. That because I love how you get to choose your elevation in there,
Yeah.
like which I really I love everything that's just like choose what level you want to show up as.
Right.
So one, um, yeah, I think all of those words feel right. Like the words connected and channeled, like that felt really great to me. All right, and the element of like because I when I hear people like, oh, I got the download, right? I think about it like, oh, there was a channel that came through, right?
Yeah.
There, and not at first, I like when I first heard it, I was thinking of it like a TV channel.
Yeah.
But now I'm like, oh, okay, it's like an actual pathway. It's like an actual like it is a flow. right? It's like another word for how it flows through. So that was those were the two words that were coming in, connected, but also channeled. And it's like, all right, if I'm in the channel, I can be anywhere along the channel to have uh, to use it to what wants to be created or where I'm at in that moment. But there's I think the element of it of the ability to play in different elevations, to not just have to be on one plane, but
Yeah,
instead to be able to say I can see it from this vantage point, or I can be right down in the dirt, like microscopically holding it in my fingertips, like
yeah,
that level of flexibility, agility, and agency. That to me is there's something beautiful in being able to hold that. So whether it's centered or the language is there, but I love the
yeah.
visual that you have with it.
And as I play with the visual, it's like I can be a high flyer,
Hmm.
but if I'm not also grounded at the same time, like if that tether comes loose, then suddenly I'm all over the place.
There we go.
And likewise, if I'm grounded without a vision, it just sort of I, I make up words all the time. It just sort of noodles over, it's like
Yeah.
it's like
Flop. If you're
um,
not watching the video, come watch this on video,
yeah,
by the way, because Sarah's nailed it. This right here, like,
right. It's like you got the whole string and it's coming from the ground, but it's got nowhere to go. And so it's the connection that as human beings, who we be is both. We are having a fully human and a fully divine experience, not 50-50, 100-100. And so playing in that elevation and in along that whatever we want to call that
yeah.
cord, that tether. It's not, but tether feels constricting. It's not constricting.
Yeah. Yeah. There's what was interesting to me is like I really like when you talked about like the backbone, like leadership backbone. And it was
Mhm.
really cool to me when you went from noodle with the visual of the noodle to actually like it felt like you were like elongating the spine, like actually like standing like being up straight in it here. And so I'm as you were talking, I feel like that's part of what like happens when people work with you. They find themselves being able to be connected like metaphysically with heaven and like the center of earth. But and with that, it straightens their spine, it straightens their backbone. Like there's an additional level of strength that comes along with it. It just felt like you know how it is. I'm sure that there are times where people are talking to you and they're like having a casual conversation, and you relay something back to them, and all of a sudden they just sit up straighter in their seats. Like that's what I feel when you were talking right there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I Beautiful. I'm glad we're
Yeah.
recording this. I'm
Yeah.
putting that
Yeah.
into my
Yeah.
web copy. That is
Yeah.
what happens. Yeah.
And I love that. I love that you also said I'm putting in my web copy because I feel like there's like multiple. I always have these conversations on multiple dimensions, right? And one of the dimensions here is like to help. Like I love looking into distinctions. Like let's codify. Let's pull out more about like how we are seeing the world and how we're bringing that out into the world so that people can also digest it with us. And I appreciate you playing with me in real time around this because a lot of times we have to come out and be like, "This is what I proclaim," and you're like, "This is how like yeah, this is what's come up for me." Um,
Yeah.
I also have to. You said something a while ago, and I have to say thank you. You said about three things that I'm just gonna that like I would normally wait until after the recorded to thank you on, but I'm gonna let you know one at a time. The one I'm gonna call out right now was when you talked about being in flow. And I think that's the other reason why channel is like really coming to me, right? It's like you created a path for flow to come in, and it's just like wherever you need to be along that path, great, let's make it come to life. And you talked about it from like this is what works for me. Like you're like one-on-one teams. Like why can't I do my work through this lens? I know it. I'm in flow, so on and so forth. And I want to say thank you for that because we're right now talking on the Outliers Edge Roundtable, a podcast. Like that's usually how I go around talking about it here. But the reality is like I resist every day doing this. Most people don't know this. I've in the last 18 months, I've released over 400 episodes, right? I've had hundreds of people come onto this platform with me. All right.
Wow.
Yeah. So we've been doing really great work and like continuing to bring this out. And each of them have clips. Everyone has like there's a lot of good stuff going on. And I resist because it doesn't look like how I think it's supposed to look. Right.
Mm.
But going to that element of flow, and what I felt like shift inside of me when you brought that in was this element of like but I know how this works. Like I just try to go through and use this like an email campaign to bring people straight into my Outliers Edge Guild community. And I was like, come into that. And it was like crickets. But then I'm like, well, what if I went back to the podcast and as soon as I did it, like I could see the next 10 years, like expand. I'm like, then this could happen and this can happen and this can happen. And it was like, oh, I get it. Like there are technical ways that make sense to other people, but when I'm in flow, it is starting with a conversation that is going out into the world. Let's put it that way.
Yeah. Yeah. It's what's for you.
Yeah, that's hard to take in. I didn't expect to say the word hard, by the way. I was gonna say, I thought I was gonna say beautiful, and the word hard is what the truth was that came in.
Yeah.
That's hard. Okay.
Why?
Oof.
It's hard. Be with that.
Yeah. Say it again.
Be with that. What
Yeah.
makes it hard?
Ah, it's so interesting. I thought like I'm very surprised that that's the word that came out. What makes it hard? What makes it hard is um, the one that's for me, the podcast flow. I think it's like I'm not. I can say it took us like we got 400 episodes out there, but it took a lot, right? It was hard, you know. I'm still figuring out the business model underneath it here. It's not even the like not really the business model, but like how do I go from meeting strangers, bringing them together. Like we're having a one-on-one here and we know each
Yeah.
other, but I'm constantly meeting new people. And then I'm bringing them into groups of 4 or 5, and then they're meeting each other, and I'm holding that dynamic, and we're exchanging in that space. But then it's like, well, how do we take that and make sure it doesn't just become a one-off, flash in the pan kind of experience, and turn into something where there are relationships grown, there are partnerships made, there are like the trajectory of things shift, like that question. I'm like, oh, I can see that when I step into the podcast flow, I'll call it the podcast flow, it's called the platform flow,
Yeah.
things just become super clear in it. But but it also feels very, I'm going to say, labor intensive. And I
Yeah.
as I consider it, as I keep thinking about things on a scale in which I want it. It's like I can do one-on-one, I could do group, but like I'm one of the few people on this planet that could also do something really large and have it be energizing. But then there's something about that, like that's where the hard came in, because I was like, oh crap, I'm gonna have to do it, and it's not easy because I have to figure it out. Does that make like that's what's coming out of
Maybe
me?
you do.
Yeah.
Uh, you want to play?
Oh, come on, Sarah. If we're not playing, what are we doing?
Okay. All right. So,
Y'all, if you're not watching, she just straightened up in her seat. Her spine coming. I'm gonna come
hey,
up and be ready myself. All
you
right,
want to
Sarah,
play?
I'm in.
Because I'm not playing.
Yeah, yeah, there we go. There we go.
So, just settle back in your seat and be with this is hard. This is what I want, but this is hard. And try to turn your brain off a little bit
I'm gonna
and
close
tell
my eyes. Are
me,
you good with that?
oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Perfect. Yeah. Tell me where it's the hard. Oh, this is hard.
Mm. It's right in the center of my back. I can feel it like right between my solar plexus. It creeps up to like my shoulders, especially my right one. But
Mhm.
like it is, I can feel a tightness there. It almost feels like a slight bit of acid reflux, like
Yeah.
in that space there. It's just like,
Is there texture? Is there shape? Is there color?
mm. um, no shape. It feels like kind of lumpy. If I'm going to say anything, it feels kind
Yeah,
of
yeah,
lumpy.
yeah,
Um, interestingly. It makes me want to like, I feel like I have like gas that needs to like come out. Like just like a good old like clear and burp.
yeah.
Um,
You can edit that out.
no, I like to keep everything in, so I'll just mute if I did it. But like, there's an element of it felt like constriction. I felt like it actually didn't feel constricted. It felt like as if something was pressing against.
Yeah.
I think there's just like this element of like pressing it out.
Okay. So stay with it. Stay with it and have a conversation with it. Say, hard, you're welcome here. I am not trying to get rid of you.
Mm,
I know you are here for my highest and best good. I'm not crazy about the sensations you're bringing, but I trust that you mean well and you have something really important to tell me.
Yeah. So
Put your words to it. Is the texture changing? Is the color
oh,
changing?
like I can feel the constriction is moving. Um, there's still like there's still presence of some feeling, but I can feel the pressure in the back. It feels like it's alleviated, and I just
Hmm.
feel like sensations up the right side of my throat down to that same space. But I can like I can feel it all through like the right side of me.
It's still lumpy and kind of gassy.
Yeah, still kind of gassy, you know, still like ooh, don't love that feeling, you know.
Yeah, that's all right.
Um, but it's present, it's there. But yeah, the back element is dissipated. Like there's some part of
Okay.
me at the middle of this was like, oh, of course, like hard, like you have to be a part of this, you know, like when
Yeah,
you said
it's
welcome
welcome
it
at
in, I was
this
like,
tea party. Yeah,
yeah, I'm like, oh, I gotta invite you to the party. Like you're one of the co-hosts, of course. Like it
yeah,
comes with it, like, you know?
yeah. And so
Hmm.
focus back in another minute or two
Yep.
and say, "Hey, hard, I see you. I know, I realize now. Thank you. You're part of this. I I won't feel like I've accomplished anything unless it's been hard from time to time. So thank you for that, for showing up so that I have something I can say for myself here. Hard, are there messages? Is there a message that you have for me that you think I'm not getting? When you show up in this way, what is it you really want me to understand so that we can collaborate?
Oh, okay. Okay. I'm gonna say this. Like it doesn't feel great, and I'm not sure why it doesn't feel great, but it does. It's like you're doing this so that others don't have to. There's something, some kind of like sense of like by you choosing to do hard, it becomes easier for others. Like
Mhm.
is a sense that came out, and what I didn't like about it. I'm like, I'm not trying to be any hero or anything like that. I actually want to just be amongst people, but that was the real that
Mm.
came to me. You know, like this is
Okay,
the benefit of it.
cool.
Yeah.
That's a potent message. So ask it, what else? What what does that mean for me? I don't think I want to be a hero. What do you mean by that?
He asked me that one more time. I let my head get in the way of
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah, yeah. Thank you, Hard. Thank you for that. So I'm doing this so that other people can have an easier time. I don't think of myself as a hero. Is there what else can you tell me about this that would help me understand?
So the word just play game keeps coming,
Hmm.
like just that. Um, the sensation, like what I make out of that here is, um, it can be hard if it's work, but the same actions can be done and and it doesn't have to be work. It doesn't have to like we could play and do the same things and
Not be
exactly right. It's like the work needs to get done, but it doesn't have to be done as work, you
right.
know. And I think that's what feels like it almost, and it felt like I'm an invitation to that as well. So it
Yeah.
wasn't just like a message for me. It's like yeah, but like if you do this, like you got to do the hard thing, but like for you, it's not going to be that hard because you get to play with it and you get to show that this is it, and like that's
Yeah.
you get to be that. That's what's playing out right now.
Yeah. So
Okay,
let,
keep going.
last little bit,
Mm,
and I mean we could do this for longer, but
yeah.
notice again shape, texture, size. Sounds like it's moving and morphing a little bit while we're giving it some TLC, some love and attention. And so in this moment, express some gratitude. Thank you for showing up. Thank you for showing me who you are and why you're here for me. And can we find a gentler way to communicate what's going on?
Like I can't even open my eyes. I'm smiling so hard here. So if you're watching the video, you'll see it. If you're listening, you wouldn't know. But I'm smiling and uh, tears are coming to my eyes now. But Hard had a response when you were talking, and and it was like, of course, dude. You're talking to Sarah. You think I wasn't gonna like come up here and like help you get like we needed to unlock it. Like it was like this very much, and that's what made me like crack up because of the edginess of it. It's like you think we're just gonna not like come out right now? Like this is the game. You've been looking for unlocks, and she showed up. So we're here. Like this is it, which is really which is
Oh,
very real for me. Yeah, and in
thank you,
that
Hart.
element,
Message
yeah.
received.
Because I think in that element, I also got that feeling of like, can we deliver it a different way, like so on and so forth. Like there's this element of it's edgy, you know what I mean? Like Hard's like, I'm not here to be like I'm not here to be anything other than what I am, you know. But we can like there's something inside of me that enjoys that, like, come on man, like Hard comes with it, like, what are you trying to do, what are you trying
Yeah.
to do? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, thank you for calling me in, you know.
Yeah, and calling you forth, right?
Yes,
I
yes.
love wordplay, and I've come to really dislike the phrase to be called out
Yeah,
about
I'm
stuff.
I'm out of it. Yep.
Yeah, calling in, calling forth. I love it.
Yeah.
So I'm hearing an invitation, and maybe you're hearing it too, to make some play out of this. Like that Hard wants to collaborate with you. Hard is what Hard is. You're not going to get rid of it when you make space and welcome it. There's a little more fluidity and a little more collaboration. And can you have a game with Hard around, like, anytime I walk past a sports bar and I see a soccer game, that's my signal to tune in to what Hard has for me today. Or anytime I see my kids playing with toys, playing a game, that's my signal to but listen, Hard
You
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 what
already
it is.
got it. You already got it. It's like both soccer and my kids. So my eldest is very he's very everything sports related, everything active, like he loves, you
Yeah.
know. And so there's multiple times, multiple memories, multiple like every time a ball hits the door, you know, like there's an element there. And I think that's one of the things that's lovely about that too, because it helps ground me outside of the business work or the movement work, reminding me that like the work is also being done at home, right? Like because it can be hard to be a parent at times, you know, and be like, oh yeah,
Sure.
but like this is also the game, you know. And so there's like I really appreciate that anchor, because like I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this is everywhere. Like I'm going to keep being reminded of this, and that's a game that like I understand how to play this. Like this is not like I understand what like the importance of what this is. It isn't just like a random suggestion. I I have evidence
No,
of
it's
how
not a
I've
random
changed
suggestion.
through it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have transformed myself multiple times by choosing to play a game, you know? And so so this is a game of transformation and I appreciate it. Thank you.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
And so the body knows. So just notice for yourself and listeners out there, getting out of your head and what you think. Why is this hard? What do I think hard is? What does it mean? Versus, what's it feel like when I think hard? Where is it showing up in my body? What does it look like? Is it moving? Is it a different color? Is it, what is that all about? And it's welcome here. It's a part of who you are. I've helped so many people with so many different things just by that one concept. Instead of trying to get rid of something that's uncomfortable, how do you welcome it? How do you listen to the messaging? How do you collaborate with it about a different style of messaging, right? So that whenever, one client recently had a sickle shaped knife to his throat about the pragmatism and making sure that his business was doing a certain thing. And through this process, it morphed down into a golden sickle for harvesting. And whenever he sees a crescent moon, it's just a gentle invitation to say, "Hey, I'm here. Think about me. I'm on your side."
This feels good. This feels really good. I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to breathe in. And, no, first, I'm going to say thank you. All right. So
You're
thank
welcome.
you.
Thank
Uh,
you. Thank your body. Thank hard. I
hard
saw
is
that.
hard is a cheeky one right here. It's like you heard it right because you're like, what is it like when you go into the flow? I'm like, oh, it is hard. What? Where did that come from? Where did you come from, hard? And it was just like
I
hijack.
think
See it.
it's
I
so
see the moment
beautiful.
running in. You know. I'm like, oh, I was set up. I was set up. But I appreciate it. I like it. And this it's like it's this energy that I want to be able to bring with this here. I'm like, oh, I thought I was just coming in. Like this whole reason I got behind the park. I'm like, this is gonna be a really easy way to go meet new people, get all this. I'm gonna be able to get clients at the Wazoo. And then I'm like, oh, turns out like this was about something much larger, right? You said something that I told you, you said multiple things earlier in the conversation. I'm gonna keep coming hard. Like what's happening is like there's a lightness that's associated with me right now.
Mm.
Um, and there's a desire to move toward hard, but not like as hard, you know. I just keep seeing um interestingly enough, Major League Baseball. I'm not a baseball fan. Like I'm not, but like it's
Well,
like
those
it's the
World
same
Series
game.
times.
Yeah, it's the same game, but it's being played at that level. And it's like, how hard is it to play at that? How hard like do they have to work at just like hitting the ball, catching the ball, throwing the ball, like, but they're playing
But
still.
they're playing
They're
and they love it.
playing
It's only
still.
work if you'd rather be doing something else.
Yeah, yeah, that's what's coming through. And so I want to make sure I say this also because I want to lock it in for me internally. Um, there is at the very beginning, you said something along the lines of um, uh, there's a conversation that's begging to be had globally, and it's like it was talking about like
Mm.
what is our wisdom teaching, and so like that component really hit me really hit me. And I want to make sure I say that here. I'm going to start wrapping up our conversation, but it really hit me because I recognize that Outliers Edge, the movement that I lead and all that, like it's a movement of conversation. And I'm like, but what do you do with it? Like, I know that conversation is like it's the transformative element. It's my vehicle of change is conversation, but like what do you do with it? And when you said like there's a global conversation like begging to be had, I was like that was also for you, Niiamah. That was also for you to recognize that like wait a minute, if you like let's figure out like we can figure out what to do with it afterwards, but can you at least for now like can you start a global conversation? That's
I
like
already
can you
have.
unlock a global conversation? Yeah. Can I keep this up there? And like maybe that's just the work to be done, is just to like allow for the conversations to take place. And that was something that I didn't realize the significance in it. Like that to me is like the all-star league. Like, oh, okay, I can have a conversation one-on-one. I can have a conversation with a group. I can unlock conversation with a larger group. We can actually get all the way to having a global conversation if we really wanted to. And that's something that I like. I'm leaving this conversation forever changed with that in here, because it's I was doing the work, but now I have a much better understanding and much better embracing of the game itself that I'm playing. I'm going to do something here. I'm going to talk to outliers. Outliers. This conversation was special to me, and I'm glad that you got to be a part of this here. Now, while this was happening between me and Sarah, this was really happening on your behalf. On your behalf. And so my ask is that you take some time right now to think about what is an insight that you got from this conversation. What are you going to be doing differently as a result of it? How are you going to be being differently as a result of this conversation. And it might be a game that you end up playing. It might be a conversation you have. Or it might be the way that your backbone that shows up in a different way.
Yeah.
And my ask is, once you have that insight, go out and share this out in your world. You can share it out with, on the socials with the people that matter to you. But then I always invite you to come and join us on the one person and one conversation at a time initiative, where you find one person who this conversation was really meant for. And there's something that I know in my heart of hearts that, like, if we do this, it's the game that I'm playing is that 10 years from now, this conversation will still be relevant for the next person that this conversation was passed on. So I'm making sure that I ask it directly each and every time we come in here. Someone is ready for this. We didn't do it even for this moment. It's for 2030 or beyond, where like the right person is going to hear this message, and it's going to be because you went out and passed it on there. If you can do that, it would mean the absolute world to me. Right? So, Sarah, we're going to wrap up our conversation, and the way that I do it is we wrap it up with two ways. One, I want to make sure that outliers know how they can go deeper down the journey with you. So, if you can go and share how outliers can do that, and then the second thing is that, like, we're going to put them over to the side for now. They've gotten what they've come here to get. Every conversation I have is one that is to shape and change the world, right? And so I want to know, like, what's an insight that you are getting from this conversation as well. Okay, so we can let us know how we can continue down the journey with you and an insight that you're taking for today.
Okay. So, folks can get in touch with me. If you remember Sarah with an H, Sarah C. Albritton. It's .com for website. That's what it is on LinkedIn, Sarah C. Albritton, and that's what it is on Instagram. I say Facebook for friends and family. And so, yeah, so that's how to get in touch with me. And I would love to be hearing from whoever wants to be heard from and continue this conversation. And what was your other question? Oh, what for me was it? You know, having a platform with someone who has known me for a long time and sorry, who has known me for a long time. That was Wells, by the way,
Okay, yeah, cool.
from your neck of the
Oh,
woods.
hey.
Uh, to reflect back to me how you've seen my journey and to have you reflect to me like you are so grounded, you're so solid in what you're saying. And I think there are ways in which I have been like that for a long time, but to have your reflection in this moment of the latest iterations and revelations that I've been going through the last few years, that was really profound for me. So thank you for it's reflecting back to me, giving me a chance to say some things out loud all in one time, um, that I don't know that I've had before. So I'm going to enjoy going back and listening to this too. What did I say?
Yeah, yeah, and leverage your AI. Like, there's great things in here. Yeah, but thank you for just being what you stand for in the world. I think that's what I like. It just makes so much sense. It's like, oh, you can do this. Like it's possible, and it's possible to be whatever I want to call myself and see things however I want to see it, and still play in every world that I want to, and bring all of those tools to the table. And I like it's a really fun game that you play, Sarah, and I'm very grateful that you're here. Outliers, until the next time we talk, be you on purpose. Journey on.